how to start a business, how to become an entrepreneur, and how to make $1 million. These types of videos and articles often don't provide any real knowledge. The stories of companies like Adidas, Tesla, and Facebook may seem inspiring, but they can be misleading. This is because of survivorship bias, where we only hear from the 1% of companies that succeed, while 99% of those that fail remain unheard. I began studying business stories and cases from business schools, but the examples provided were often about large companies, such as how a big gold mining company increased its production by 10%. This type of information doesn't help me much in my journey to become an entrepreneur and start my own business. So I decided to look for stories about small businesses. I wanted to learn how they got started, how much money and investment they needed, what challenges they faced, and more. Here, I want to share some of these small business stories from various fields and countries. This way, you can gain a basic understanding of how people become entrepreneurs and hopefully find some motivation along the way. The business Bus in the Forest was founded in Russia with an initial investment of around $3,200. They transformed an abandoned bus into a glamping spot, offering a unique and cozy retreat for tourists. Local tourism is booming, with visitors hiking, rafting, and skiing nearly year-round. The idea for the Bus in the Forest came about accidentally. Among the founders, a physicist, architect, and forester, it was the forester who proposed turning an old bus into a tourist destination in the forest. Initially, the plan seemed crazy. What if they took an old bus, moved it into the forest, refurbished it, and hosted tourists in it? Visitors could come from nearby city on weekends, spend time together, hike through the forests and fields, and sing songs around the campfire. The concept was familiar, except instead of staying in tents or cabins like at a tourist base, guests would stay in a retro, cozy bus. The founders began researching similar projects to understand how such a tourism business could work. The more they learned, the more feasible their plan became. The project started by acquiring an old abandoned bus for $400 and spending another $200 to transport it to a forest spot 100 kilometers from the city. The bus was refurbished for tourists, with an additional $2,500 invested for interior work, electricity, and camp setup. Though the investment of $3,000 seemed risky, they decided to treat it as an educational experience rather than expect immediate profit. Just a few months after the idea's inception, the first guests arrived. For marketing, they relied on social networks and word of mouth for promotion, with no major ad campaigns. The second abandoned bus, purchased for $800, could hold 8 people. However, this project was more difficult due to the lack of a set location and a site manager. After scouting several areas, they found a partner with land by a scenic river who agreed to host the project. They invested another $3,000 in refurbishing the second bus, which quickly became popular despite its lack of electricity, thanks to the stunning surroundings. They also offer extras like snowmobile transfers, a bathhouse, tent spots, and local village products. Both buses paid for themselves in 1.5 years, with affordable rates of $50 to $100 per night for groups of 5 to 8 people. They now have not only buses, but also a cabin in the forest, a former hunting lodge they partner with to host guests. The cabin, like their buses, offers a peaceful retreat deep in the woods. This is a great example of how to start a business with minimal investment. They created one glamping spot, and once they saw it was successful, they invested in more locations. It's also important to note that they didn't put much effort into marketing, because a good business can often sell itself. In their case, it was the unique experience of staying in a secluded area, far from people, that attracted tourists. If you're looking for more small business success stories, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. I've created a collection of small business stories and will be sharing videos one by one. If you're interested in the full collection, feel free to email me. My contact is in the description. Also, I'll leave the website for the Bus in the Forest in the description below. Have a nice journey!